So there's a song called Ruin My Life by Zara Larsson, and I want to read you a few of the lyrics really quick. I want you to ruin my... Wait, one second.
I'm not in very good luck today, bro.
I want you to ruin my life.
Ruining my... No.
Okay, you're not trying. I guess I'm a solo act now. Okay.
Right.
So, I want you to ruin my life. I want you to ruin my nights. If you make it all wrong, then I'll make it all right. I'm kind of missing a few of the echo things in there. But see, this is what I don't understand. It's like, why is she needing this guy? Because if this is her standard, is needing a guy that can ruin her life, then there's this perfect app. It's called a Tinder. So you can find infinite guys that will want to ruin your life if that's what you're looking for. Now, I imagine that most girls, this is not what you want. What you want is a guy that's going to walk with you towards heaven and be a protector and provider for you and for your future family. And so what I want to do in this video is talk about how can you know that a guy's intentions are pure and that what he's truly wanting to do is to get you and him to heaven. The first question you should ask yourself about a guy is God his first priority? Because if he's not prioritizing God now, then he's not going to prioritize you later. And you can see this very commonly happen when a guy can have some girl be the focus of his life until they get married. And then his focus will move to something else like work. And this time he used to spend with the girl all of a sudden goes into work because that's where he thinks he's going to become happy. Why it's so important is because once we have an internal perspective, then we understand the things in life that matter so much. And the relationship we have with our spouse is as important as nothing else aside from a relationship with God. You will know if a guy's first priority is God if he makes time to pray every day, intentionally, and puts that in his schedule. And then he also talks to you about his relationship with God. Because if his relationship with God is that top priority, then he's not going to want to hide that from the person he would potentially spend the rest of his life with. The second thing you can ask is, does he just respect your morals or are they his own? And when I mean this, I say you need to be on the same page and both wanting to be pure and be chaste in this relationship. Because if you're both not striving for that, it's going to be way too easy to fall in these different ways of temptation. I know I've been in relationships in the past where me and the girl I was dating were not on the same page and wanting to be pure. Where it became a problem was that I was the only person trying to keep this accountable. So this temptation became so much harder because it was purely relying on my strength. And they didn't seem to understand what I was striving for because it was something so much more. It was like a love that went beyond it. And I've been recently reading the book, How to Find Your Soulmate Without Losing Your Soul, 21 Secrets for Women. Yeah, women. Yeah, because that's what guys read in their free time. But what it talks about is that guys can a lot of times want to be manipulative. And maybe not even intentionally, but they may say they're fine with you wanting to be chaste. But then when you start to be tempted, they're immediately just there and ready to be impure when the time comes. And so what you need to do is find someone that can be strong when you're not, and vice versa. Because when you're both striving for that, purity is something so much greater. It's such a greater, more pure form of love. Like, this is going to be me someday, and this is going to be a girl watching this video. We're going to be together. Did I mention I'm single?
The third thing is, does he listen or... The third thing is, does he watch or listen to the sexual content?
Speaking of that, there's been some bad movies in your Netflix movie list, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jerome, you're not ready to find your soulmate. You are not the right guy.
No, I'm the right guy, just not ready yet. No.
The third thing you can ask yourself, if you're wanting to know if a guy's truly able to give of himself to you, does he watch or listen to sexual content? And it's a sad truth, but there are a lot of guys that struggle with pornography. But not every guy does. And that is something that is told to women, that it's impossible to find a guy that is not accepting that part of the culture. Now, what I do want to say is that there are guys, great guys, that might be struggling with this, but as long as that's a part of their life, they're not able to fully give of themselves to you. And I see this now talking to different people, that these struggles that happen with pornography now go years into the marriage and cause so many problems long term. So you can save yourself so much of that heartache and start now with setting that standard. And going beyond that, it's our duty as men to respect and protect women. There's a lot of TV shows and movies that will want to generalize this bad or objectifying behavior of women, and we can't accept that. I was looking at some of the new popular songs that, those millennials listen to. Wait, am I a millennial?
You are younger than a millennial.
I'm not even a millennial.
No,
What would be, I've heard a lot of these younger people. I don't, what would they be called? Basically middle school age people. I was listening to some middle schoolers and they're listening to this terrible music, not even understanding how it's truly affecting them. I remember back in high school, it was like my freshman year, there was this funny show that kind of generalized some sexual behavior, but I didn't think a lot of it until later on when I started to fall in these ways of chastity. And then when I looked back, I realized those thoughts weren't even in my mind until I started watching that show. And the more things of that I put into my life, the easier it was for me to fall. It almost took down this defense that I had. So if we want to build this shield back up, and want to start to train our minds to want the right thing, we can't accept that. And you can't accept that from the guy that's going to lead you and walk with you towards heaven. Kind of a final thought I want to leave you with is I was talking to one of my mentors, or really good friends, honestly, Michael Bankston, and he's this great photographer, and I was telling him about this video I wanted to make, and he said that such an important thing we need to know is that if you're not the person you need to be, then you're not going to find the right person. And so if you're single at this point, or you're not married, or haven't found your vocation yet, take this as an opportunity to grow closer to God. Because I promise that once you start following the path to God, you're going to find that person or find your vocation. I would love to hear your response or your thoughts from this. If you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me directly at braden@createtheculture.com, or you can check out my Instagram. I don't really have other social media profiles that I use, but you're welcome to look me up on Catholic Match. No, just kidding. I don't do that. That's not what this video is about. If you'd like to see more videos that will come out from Create the Culture, I encourage you to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel where all of this content will be coming out. And I will look forward to talking to you through this camera sometime, hopefully in the next week.
To the left, to the left, to the
I
left.
need to jack this up to look taller. Oh shoot, it's even short. Yes, sir.
To the left, Jerome.
My final thought is this is a great video. You should watch it and subscribe. Alright.